live.
No.
That happened to me. I'll give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
This happened to me recently as an example where I really made some serious mistakes. I was in Colombia, and I was out in a little town outside of Medellin, Colombia. And I was invited in by the principal and the faculty of a high school, and there was actually an elementary school embedded in this school.
Yeah.
So it was, I guess, high school and elementary school. It was called La Independencia. And I went in at the invitation of the faculty, and they wanted to know what my recent ideas were about critical pedagogy.
Mm-hmm.
They read a lot of my work translated into Spanish, but they said some of the recent work has not been translated into Spanish, and could I share with them some of my ideas? So I shared with them some ideas that I was been sharing with you.
Mm.
Critical pedagogy should become more than a methodology. It should become a social movement for human rights and for social justice. And I said, for the creation of a socialist alternative to capitalism. So I was talking about, we need to find an alternative to the capitalist law of value, which neoliberal capitalism is just basically is on the process of destroying the planet. In saying that, the teachers looked at me, the principal looked at me and said, well, Peter, we have a problem with your discussion of socialism in critical pedagogy.
Mm-hmm.
We can't use that term, and let us tell you why.
Yeah.
They showed me pictures of dead bodies on the streets. They said, these are members of our community that were pulled out of their homes
by FARC,
shot by a few years ago, he said, 3 or 4 years ago, into our community came the military.
Okay, yeah.
2,000 military, 2,000 soldiers, 2 Black Hawk helicopters, artillery, and tanks, followed by the paramilitary. And about 40 or 50 people were killed.
Mm-hmm.
Many were wounded. And they were looking for sympathizers of the guerrilla movement.
Yeah. I understand.
He said, we have a policy at our school of political neutrality in the Civil War. So if the military come in, we can't stop them. But we don't let the paramilitary come in, and we don't let the guerrillas come in, the FARC. We don't let them. We have a position of healing. Our pedagogy is a pedagogy of healing the pain of the Civil War, healing the souls in the psyches of these young people who have been devastated by the Civil War. And here's pictures of them holding up white sheets, trying to call for a halt of the killing. So if we use the word socialism in our pedagogy, we would be killed, Peter. We wouldn't be here.
No.
We would be assassinated. So I felt like I wasn't attentive enough to the geopolitical context in the history of this school, in this community. I went in like socialism, la lucha continua hasta la victoria siempre.
Yeah.
And it was inappropriate in the context of what that school was attempting to do. Now, before they implemented this curriculum of rights and justice, 95% of the students, when they graduated, went into the military or the paramilitary.
Mm-hmm.
Since implementing this critical pedagogy, 99% have expressed a desire to go to university when they graduate.
That's a big difference.